Hey there, I'm Joey. I'm the founder of a new ministry called Restored. We help teenagers and young adults who come from broken families to heal and grow so they can feel whole again and thrive. One of the sad realities when you come from a broken home is so often your relationship with one or both parents is pretty strained. And I know this firsthand because when I was growing up, I was close with my dad, and once my parents separated and later divorced, my relationship with him really fell apart. And over the years, honestly, it's been a struggle with him and with my mom. And thankfully, I've done things to heal that relationship. But if I'm real, it's been difficult. It's been a challenge at times. Now, today, it's thankfully better than it has been in the past. And one of the things that has helped me so much is forgiveness. Because when you go through your parents' separation or divorce, more often than not, you're wounded by it, right? I would say almost everyone is wounded by it. It's a very difficult thing to go through. Your parents might not intend to hurt you, but often you end up being wounded by them. And so one way to really heal that relationship is to begin to forgive them. Father John Burns says that forgiveness really is an alternative to a more primal instinct of revenge or getting back at the other person. And really, forgiveness is a path through all the bitterness, through all the brokenness, through all the pain that we've been dealt in life. And what it means is releasing someone of a debt that they owe us because they harmed us. It means giving them something that, frankly, they don't deserve. But how does forgiveness work? So the first step is counting the cost. So often when it comes to forgiveness, we want to skip ahead to the part where we would release someone of their debt, where we would forgive them. But in order to get to that point and truly forgive someone, we need to know how exactly were we harmed? In what ways did that hurt us? How did it prevent us in life from having something that we wanted? And so on. And so some questions you can ask when it comes to your parents' separation or divorce is, how did my parents harm me? What did they prevent me from having? Which struggles did they directly or indirectly cause? And it's important to be real here. So often we have this tendency to protect our parents because we love them, but we need to be real because that won't serve you well here. You won't be able to forgive your parents until you own up to and face the ways in which they harm you. Even if that harm was unintentional, you still felt it, you still experienced it, you still were harmed. And so make sure to count the costs. The next step is really asking God for the grace to forgive someone. Forgiveness is really a supernatural, heroic act. And so we need to ask God for the grace to forgive someone because on our own, we tend to an eye for an eye. We tend toward justice, which isn't bad, but mercy and forgiveness means going beyond justice. And so we need to ask God, like, God, I'm struggling to forgive this person. I know I need to. I know my unforgiveness is holding me back. It's leaving me feeling stuck. I want to get beyond it, but I need your help in order to forgive this person. And step number 3 is then releasing them of the debt. It's forgiving them. And we need to put this into words. It doesn't always mean that we'll have a conversation with that person. Obviously, that's ideal if you can talk to one or both of your parents and just tell them, hey, this is how I was harmed. This is how I was hurt by your actions, but I forgive you. And maybe, again, you can't be in the presence of that person, so you could put this in a letter or maybe just say it to someone else, maybe say it in a prayer to God. This might not be something that you'll be able to communicate because often the people who harmed you in your life, it's not safe to be with them, or perhaps it's such a toxic situation that you can't have them in your life. Or maybe if you were to approach them about this and try to forgive them, it would go pretty horribly. And so it's important to understand the dynamics of the relationship and act accordingly, but we need to put it into words. We need to forgive them so that we can move on and move past it so it no longer holds us back in life. But in trying to forgive someone, there's a few obstacles that we face. And one of those obstacles is waiting for someone to apologize. And I totally get this. We want someone who hurt us to own up to the fact that they hurt us. But the problem with that is sometimes they may not be aware of it, or they may just be in total denial and not want to own up to the fact that they harmed us. And so in those situations, we need to move toward forgiveness, even if they don't apologize. Because what ended up happening is we would just be left feeling stuck, waiting perhaps for years for someone to apologize to us. Another obstacle is thinking that forgiveness means reconciliation. Like I mentioned, sometimes that's not possible because maybe the relationship is dangerous or the person really harmed you, such as an abusive situation, that you can't be in their presence. And so forgiveness does not mean reconciliation every time. And finally, if you do approach one or both of your parents, just be prepared for it not to go super well. Again, you have to judge if it would be worth it to approach them, or perhaps this is just something that you do in your own heart. But if you do approach them, just understand that they might get defensive. They might not want to own up to the fact that they harmed you in certain ways. It's, I think, a natural response as humans to do that. And part of the reasons I think our parents react so badly is because they feel guilty and they probably feel ashamed for what happened in our family. And I know for so many of us, we just want them to own up to that. We want them to apologize, to acknowledge the pain that we've been through, but so often they may be unable to do that. So just be prepared for that. One woman who approached her mom and her family, she told me this. She said, "When I realized as an adult how much her parents' divorce, affected me, I tried to voice my hurt to family members and even my own mother. I was told that I was stuck in the past and that I was too negative all the time. My mother was angry because she felt she did the best she could and she was a victim of abuse by my father. I never wanted to blame my parents for the ways my pain manifested in my life. I just wanted to feel heard and validated. I wanted an apology, the kind that simply says, 'I'm sorry that it caused you trauma and pain.' To me, hearing that would have meant in some way that they loved me and were sorry that I spent so many years living in pain. Instead, they were on the defense." It's such a difficult situation to go through. And so be prepared for that if you do want to approach your parents. And if that does happen, or maybe it did already happen to you, I'm so sorry. You definitely do deserve better. And finally, overall, I would just challenge you to have a heart of mercy towards your parents. So often that unforgiveness, the revenge that we feel, it hurts us more than it hurts them. And so we need to have a heart of mercy toward our parents. We need to look at them in all of their brokenness and try to understand where they're coming from. Again, forgiveness, mercy, it goes beyond justice. It really, if justice is about giving someone what they deserve, mercy is about giving them what they really need. And so my challenge for you is, even if you desire, maybe you want to see your parents suffer, if you feel that, by the way, like, that's okay. Like, it's understandable that you feel that way, but my challenge is for you to go beyond it and to offer them mercy, to offer them forgiveness. Because in the end, forgiveness will free you from the grudges, it will free you from the anger, it will free you from the pain, it will free you from feeling stuck. And in all of that, in that effort, if my ministry can help you in any way, we're here from you. I wanted to mention one resource that we have, and it's this book. It's called "It's Not Your Fault, a Practical Guide to Navigating the Pain and Problems from Your Parents' Divorce." It features 33 questions and answers on the most pressing challenges faced by young people who come from broken families. One of them being is navigating your relationship with your parents. If you want the first chapters free, click the link in the description. On that page, click Get Free Chapters, and then put in your name, your email, and we'll email you those free chapters. So if you want those chapters, get them right now. Thank you so much for watching. We do this for you.